So in the previous video, um, we talked about how exchange rates fluctuate, and I gave you one cause that explains why the euro and the US dollar exchange rate fluctuates. And that reason was basically because when Europeans demand more American goods, they will demand more US dollars, and by the law of the supply and demand, the prices are going to fluctuate. So now let me tell you about another cause that explains why exchange rates fluctuate. Remember that example where I told you that a European wanted to buy a Cadillac for 100,000. Okay, so if the exchange rate at that point in time was 100,000 euros, would buy you $100,000. That's an exchange rate of $1 per euro. Okay, then in this case, the European would have to give up 100,000 euros to get the Cadillac. So he would give up 100,000 euros. He would go to the forex market, give up 100,000 euros, and get $100,000 in exchange, and then buy the Cadillac. Okay, so now suppose that sometime later prices in the US go up. So because of, for example, increased money supply. I invite you to review my earlier videos about inflation and explaining why prices would go up. So let's assume that prices in the US suddenly went up, and now the Cadillac costs $120,000. Okay, so in this case, because the Cadillac costs $120,000, the European needs to buy $120,000. So he will need to spend 120,000 euros at an exchange rate of 1-to-1, correct? So because the European is demanding more dollars on the forex market, if we go back to the supply and demand graph, so demand was before prices went up in the US, demand was here. After prices went up, people Europeans are asking for more dollars to buy the same goods. So the new demand curve is going to shift to the right, and the new equilibrium price or exchange rate for the dollar is going to be higher. So in the long run, what happens is that because Europeans are demanding more dollars, the price of a dollar will go up, and the price of a dollar is price of a US dollar is how many euros would a European give up for $1. And so because the demand for dollars is going up, the price of the dollar is going up, and the price of a dollar is denominated in terms of how many euros. And so the exchange rate, meaning that let's say we need X euros to get $1, the exchange rate for the euro, the exchange rate for the dollar goes up. Usually the exchange rate for the US dollar is exchange rates between euro and US dollars are expressed in terms of how many US dollars would get you €1, or let's say €1 gets you how many US dollars. So this is the exchange rate for the US dollar. So another cause therefore for a fluctuation of the exchange rate is changes in foreign price levels, right? Because what happened in our scenario is in the US prices went up, and therefore the exchange rate went up. And similarly, you can understand how changes in domestic price levels also have an effect on the exchange rate. In this case, if the price levels in the US went up, we saw that a dollar is more expensive to buy for a European. You need more euros to buy a dollar. And similarly, if the prices in Europe, for example, go down, then you can see that also the price of a dollar would also be more expensive for a European. In the next video, I'm going to tell you about real exchange rates. Right now, we talked about nominal exchange rates, and in the next video, I will explain what the difference is between nominal and real exchange rate, and get into the third cause of why exchange rates fluctuate.